Okay, then we will discuss about the rule of noon sakin or tanween. Whenever noon sakin or tanween are preceded by any letter, according to the situation, we there are four rules which we have to follow according to the letters which is present after the noon sakin tanween. So first of all, let me find a noon sakin. So in the letter in the ayah number 9, there we can see a noon sakin here, and the letter present after the noon sakin is ba, and we can also see a small meme written over noon sakin. So here we have to follow the rule of iqlab or inversion. So what does this rule say? That whenever there is a noon sakin or tanween and it is followed by ba, we have to change the voice of noon into meme. In some Quran Pak, like in this Quran Pak, meme is written over noon, indicating that here you have to apply the rule of iqlab or inversion. Otherwise, we have to remember that whenever ba is preceded by noon sakin or tanween, then we have to read meme instead of noon, and we have to prolong the letter for approximately 2 seconds. So we will read these words as mimbaini. So you can see that while reciting these letters, I am not creating the sound of noon here. Instead, I am producing the sound of meme here, and I am following the rule of iqlab here. That is, I am reciting these words as mimbaini. Okay, then whenever there is noon sakin or tanween, and there is another rule which we have to follow. Here you can see that rule of duplication is present, and the this letter is followed by tanween here. So now you have to follow the rule of idgham or combination. So what does this rule say? Whenever there are harufe yarmaloon followed by noon sakin or tanween, we have to follow the rule of combination. What are harufe yarmaloon? Harufe yarmaloon are 6 in number, that are ya, waw, mim, noon, ra, lam. Whenever these letters harufe yarmaloon, like here we can see waw is followed by noon sakin or tanween, we have to follow the rule of idgham, and in this rule we have to merge their sounds together. One letter is inserted into one another, and we have to read these words as double. And for that purpose, there will also be a sign or duplication or tashdeed present over harufe yarmaloon, indicating that we have to read this letter twice, one time with the previous letter and one time with its own sound. And this whole rule is known as rule of combination or idgham. So what are the components of this rule? Harufe yarmaloon. Number 2, they are followed by noon sakin or tanween. Number 3, a sign of duplication will be present. And whenever these components are present, we have to follow the rule of idgham, and we have to merge their sounds together, like saddaw wa, saddaw wa. So now I am reading wa one time with the previous letter and one time with its own sound, and this is harufe yarmaloon, which is present, which is followed by no sakin or tanween. Whenever these letters are followed by a simple letter or a simple signs of haraka, then we don't have to follow the rule of idgham here. We only have to do tashdeed here. Okay. And whenever out of 6 harufe yarmaloon, whenever ya, waw, mim and noon are followed by noon sakin or tanween, then we have to make gunna also. We have to create the nasal sound. And whenever ra or lam are present after the no sakin or tanween, then we don't have to create the nasal sound. We have to simply follow the rule of combination here. Okay, then mm, okay, so okay, the next rule is we can see that there is a noon sakin which is followed by a throat letter. So whenever you see noon, sakin or tanween, and after that there is any throat letter, what are the throat letters? Throat letters are six letters, which we have to pronounce with our different regions of our throat, and they are six in number, which are hamza, ha, ain, ha, ghain, kha. So whenever these throat letters are present after the noon, sakin or tanween, then we have to follow the rule of izhar or expression. And for to follow this rule, we have to completely pronounce or make the sound of noon, and we are not making any kind of nasal sound or gunna here. So I can see that there is noon sakin, and after that there is a throat letter. Now I completely have to pronounce the sound of noon here. I don't have to create the sound nasal sound here. And here, by doing this, I am following the rule of Izhar, and I will read the word as Wamin Khalfihim. So you can see that I am completely pronouncing the sound of Noon. This is the third rule. First rule, which we have discussed, is the rule of Iqlab or inversion, in which we were replacing the sound of Noon with Meme. And in the second rule, idgham, there were harufe yarmaloon present with sign of duplication followed by no sakin tanween, and here we have to follow the rule of idgham with or without the creation of nasal sound. And in the third rule, that is izhar, there is a noon sakin, which is for noon sakin or tanween, which is followed which is preceded by the throat letters, and here I am completely producing the sound of noon. In the fourth rule, whenever there is any letter other than throat letters or the haruf yarmaloon, the remaining 15 letters of Arabic are present, which are also known as the letters of ikhfa. Whenever these ikhfa letters are followed by noon sakin or tanween, then we have to follow the rule of concealment or ikhfa here. So you can see that fa is present, and fa is a ikhfa letter which is followed by tanween here. Then I have to follow the rule of ikhfa here or concealment. Conceal means to hide. So in this rule, I have to conceal the sound of noon sakin or tanween, and we don't have to produce the n sound of noon. Rather, we have to make the nasal sound here. So I will read these verses. Agula no fahiya. So now I am not creating the n sound of noon here, rather I am creating the nasal sound of it, because the letter of ikhfa is present, which is followed by tanween here, and by doing this I am followed the rule of concealment or ikhfa. And I forgot the rule of nation or tanween. So whenever double fatha, double kasra, or double zumma are present above or below the letter, these are known as signs of nation or tanween. And whenever these signs are present with the letters, we have to create the nasal sound. That is, we have to produce the ending sound of noon here, like saddan. Now I am creating the sound of noon at the end of the pronunciation. So these were the rules of noon, sakin or tanween, the four rules which we have discussed. Now only one thing is left, that is idgham shafwi. What is this rule? We can see that here is the meme sakin. Okay, we have discussed the rules regarding noon, sakin or tanween, but now here is meme sakin, and it is followed by meme here with the sign of duplication or tajdeed here. Now here I have to follow the rule of idgham shafwi. So in this rule I have to simply follow the rule of combination. That is, I have to read the letter meme with the previous letter ha, and one time with its own sound. So by doing this I am following the rule of tajdeed here. And the second thing is, I have to create the nasal sound here. Okay, so I have to make gunna here. I have to pronounce these sounds with the help of my nose rather than my mouth. And I will read the letter as فهم مقمهون فهم. So now you can see that I meme sakin is present, and the word after that, letter after that is meme with the sign of duplication here, and I am reciting meme with the previous letter, that is her, with the zumma, and I am following the rule of idgham shafi here, and while reciting this I am also creating the nasal sound. Fahum muqmahun, fahum muq. So this is the rule of idgham shafi here. Okay, so this is the end of the topic.